Picture this. Your mind is like a storm, swirling with overthinking, stress, and 1,000 tiny worries pulling you in every direction. Sound familiar? Let's be real. Life can feel overwhelming, like you're constantly chasing peace, but never quite catching it. Here's the thing. What if I told you that the key to true inner peace isn't about fixing your chaotic circumstances, but mastering how you respond to them? Intrigued? Good, because today we're diving deep into something ancient yet shockingly relevant: Stoic wisdom. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Stoicism. Isn't that just about being emotionless? Trust me, that's a myth, and I'm about to bust it wide open. Stoicism isn't about shutting down your emotions. It's about rising above them, learning how to stay unshaken no matter what life throws your way. Imagine handling stress with the calm of a monk, or dealing with toxic people without letting them drain your energy. Sounds impossible? Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll have practical tools to start living like that today. So, if you're ready to reclaim your mind, silence the storm, and finally tap into a deep, unshakable inner peace, don't go anywhere. This isn't just philosophy, it's a blueprint for living better, starting now. Let's get into it. Number 1, the radical acceptance paradox. Here's a truth that might rattle you a bit. What if I told you that peace, real, unshakable inner peace, isn't about fixing your problems, but embracing them as if you'd asked for them? Wait, don't roll your eyes just yet. I'm not saying you need to like your problems or suddenly find joy in getting stuck in traffic or losing a job. What I'm saying is this: what if you looked at every mess life throws your way and said, "Ah, yes, this is exactly what I needed"? Now I get it. You're probably thinking, that sounds absurd. Why on earth would I want bad things to happen? But think about it. How often do we spiral into frustration, anger, or self-pity because something unexpected happens? Maybe your plans fell apart or someone let you down. We've all been there, caught in that storm of "why me" and "this shouldn't be happening." It's exhausting, right? Here's the kicker. What if the energy we spend fighting reality could be used to own it instead? This is where the radical acceptance paradox comes in. The idea is deceptively simple but wildly unconventional. Accept every situation, even the bad ones, as if you chose them. Imagine for a second that you're not a victim of circumstances, but a co-author of them. Why? Because when you stop resisting what's happening, you free up space to respond in a way that's actually useful. And no, this isn't some passive surrender. It's about reclaiming control over your mind, your emotions, and your next move. Let me tell you a story. A few months ago, I was running late for an important meeting. Traffic was horrendous, and every light seemed determined to stay red for eternity. I felt the stress bubbling up, anger at the drivers, frustration with myself for not leaving earlier. But then I remembered this concept. I took a deep breath and thought, okay, this is exactly what's supposed to happen. Maybe I needed this slowdown. Sounds ridiculous, right? But here's what happened next. I stopped gripping the wheel like it owed me an apology. Instead of stressing about what I couldn't control, I used the time to mentally rehearse my presentation. By the time I arrived, yes, late, I was calm, collected, and ready. Now, did my acceptance make the traffic disappear? Of course not, but it did give me back my peace. And that's the point. Radical acceptance isn't about changing the external, it's about flipping the internal script. When you stop demanding that life align perfectly with your plans, you open yourself up to deal with reality on your terms. This isn't about giving up or being passive. It's about strength. It's about looking at life's chaos and saying, you don't get to decide how I feel. Because the truth is, fighting reality doesn't change it. It just drains you. But owning it, That's power, that's dignity, that's peace. So the next time life throws a curveball, try this. Pause, breathe, and think. Maybe this is exactly what I needed. It might feel strange at first, even unnatural, but trust me on this. It's not about the situation. It's about you, your space, your peace, your dignity. Number 2, emotion fasting. Less feeling, more thinking. Here's something you don't hear every day. Your emotions might be lying to you. Yep, those fiery bursts of anger, waves of sadness, or even that giddy excitement. They don't always have your best interests at heart. In fact, what if I told you that one of the best ways to find clarity and peace is to temporarily put your emotions on mute? I know, it sounds cold, maybe even robotic, but hang in there, because this idea, emotion fasting, might just change how you navigate life's chaos. We've all been there. Someone cuts you off in traffic and your whole day feels ruined. Or you send a text and don't get a reply for hours, and suddenly you're spiraling, convinced you've done something wrong. You know the type of overthinking I'm talking about, right? Those moments when emotions take the wheel, driving us straight into a ditch of unnecessary drama. It's exhausting. And here's the thing. We tend to trust those emotions, even when they're clearly working against us. But what if we didn't? Emotion fasting is exactly what it sounds like. For a set amount of time, a day, a week, you deliberately choose not to act on your emotions. Think of it like a detox, not for your body, but for your reactions. The idea isn't to ignore your feelings or suppress them entirely. It's to step back and let logic have the first say. Why? Because emotions are fleeting, impulsive little things. They scream for attention, but they don't always tell the truth. Logic, on the other hand, whispers, and it's usually right. I tried this myself not long ago. It started with an email, one of those passive-aggressive messages that seem designed to ruin your day. My first instinct? Fire off an equally biting response. But then I stopped. I reminded myself that I was fasting. Instead of reacting, I wrote a response I never sent. I waited. Hours later, when my emotions had cooled, I reread that draft. Let me tell you, it was a masterpiece of snarky regret waiting to happen. Instead, I crafted a polite, professional reply. And you know what? The situation resolved itself without unnecessary drama. Here's what's fascinating. During my fast, I noticed how much space emotions can take up in my mind. It's like they demand a spotlight they don't always deserve. By stepping back, I reclaimed that space, not to suppress my feelings, but to evaluate them. Was that email worth my frustration? Nope. Did ignoring my impulse make me feel stronger and more in control? Absolutely. This practice isn't about becoming cold or detached. It's about learning to pause, to think, to realize that not every emotion needs a reaction and not every situation deserves your energy. Imagine how much peace you could find if you stopped reacting to every little annoyance. It's freeing, isn't it? So the next time you feel that surge of anger, that pang of insecurity, or that wave of doubt, try fasting. Let logic take the lead for a while. This isn't about denying your feelings. It's about prioritizing your clarity, your calm, your power. Because at the end of the day, this is your life, your choices, your peace. Number 3. Practiced poverty, the luxury of less. What if I told you that true freedom comes from having nothing by choice? It's a bold claim, right? But stick with me, because what I'm about to share isn't about deprivation or suffering. It's about power. Imagine stripping away the excess, stepping out of your comfort zone, and realizing that even at your most bare, you're still enough. That's the beauty of practiced poverty, intentionally living with less to uncover just how much you already have. We've all felt it, that gnawing fear of losing what we've worked so hard to build. What if I can't keep up with the bills? What if my lifestyle changes? What if I lose my job? It's anxiety-inducing, isn't it? You work tirelessly to maintain a sense of security, only to find yourself stressed about keeping it all together. But here's the thing. The grip that fear has on you, it weakens the moment you decide to face it head-on. Practiced poverty is a deliberate exercise in letting go. You don't wait for life to strip things away from you. You do it yourself on your terms. Spend a week eating the simplest, cheapest meals you can find. Sleep on the floor instead of your bed. Wear the same outfit for days. The goal isn't to punish yourself, but to show your mind and body that you can handle less. It's not about testing your limits. It's about breaking free from the illusion that comfort equals happiness. A while back, I tried this myself. For 1 week, I packed away most of my belongings. No fancy meals, no streaming services, no cozy bed piled high with pillows. I stuck to the basics: rice and beans, a blanket on the floor, and a single book for entertainment. At first, it felt awkward, even unnecessary, but then something clicked. I realized how much of my daily stress came from maintaining things I didn't even need. By the end of the week, I didn't just feel lighter, I felt invincible, because I'd proven to myself that even if I lost it all tomorrow, I'd be okay. Practiced poverty isn't about rejecting luxury, it's about appreciating it. It's about shifting your mindset from, "I need this to be happy," to "I can be happy regardless." It's a recalibration, a reminder that your strength doesn't come from what you own, but from who you are. And here's the kicker. Once you've faced that fear of losing everything, it loses its hold on you. You gain a confidence that no paycheck or possession can provide. This practice is liberating in ways you can't predict. It's not just about material things. It teaches you to handle discomfort, to value simplicity, and to find joy in the essentials. It's about reclaiming your space, your independence, your peace. Because when you strip life down to its basics, you realize how little you truly need to feel whole. So, try it. Just for a week. Take control of your fear by confronting it. Let go of the excess and discover the luxury of less. It's not about giving up. It's about gaining clarity, your strength, your resilience, your freedom. Number 4, the art of indifference. Let go of people. Here's a thought that might make you pause. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. Sounds harsh, doesn't it? But let's face it. There are people we hold on to, not because they bring us joy or add value, but because we're afraid of what it means to let them go. The truth? Letting go isn't just a choice, it's an art. And indifference? That's your paintbrush. We've all had that one person who lingers in our minds long after they've walked out of the room. Maybe it's a friend who only calls when they need something, or someone you've bent over backward for who couldn't be bothered to reciprocate. You know the type, right? They drain you, yet you find yourself clinging to the hope that things will change. Here's the kicker. They probably won't. And that's okay. The art of indifference isn't about being cold-hearted. It's about protecting your energy. It's about acknowledging that your peace isn't up for negotiation. Think about it. How often do we let others dictate our happiness? We overanalyze their words, replay conversations, or craft messages we'll never send. It's exhausting. But here's where indifference steps in like a breath of fresh air. It says, you can care about someone and still choose not to let their behavior affect you. I learned this lesson the hard way. There was a friend, let's call them Alex, who always seemed to have a crisis. I'd drop everything to help, rearrange my schedule, and give advice they'd never follow. One day, I realized I was more invested in their life than they were. That hit me like a ton of bricks. So, I decided to try something new, indifference. Instead of rushing to fix things, I stepped back. I listened without offering solutions. I stopped checking in constantly. And you know what? The world didn't end. In fact, I felt lighter. Indifference isn't about apathy. It's about boundaries. It's recognizing that your time and emotional bandwidth are finite resources, and not everyone deserves unlimited access. When you stop trying to control how others act or react, you reclaim a sense of freedom. You realize you're not responsible for their happiness or their drama. It's liberating. This is about your space, your peace, your dignity. It's about letting go of the need for closure or validation from people who won't give it. It's about focusing on the relationships that uplift you and gently releasing the ones that weigh you down. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care more about yourself. So here's the challenge. Practice the art of indifference. The next time someone tries to pull you into their chaos, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, does this align with my peace? If the answer is no, let it go. Because life is too short to be tangled in webs you didn't weave. And trust me, the moment you master this art, you'll feel a clarity and confidence that's impossible to ignore. Number 5. Your deathbed perspective. Let's get straight to it. One day, you're going to die. That's not exactly the cheeriest way to start a conversation, but stay with me, because this might just be the most life-changing thought you'll ever entertain. Think about it. If you were lying on your deathbed right now, looking back on your life, what would truly matter? Spoiler alert, it's probably not your Instagram likes, the emails you forgot to answer, or the petty grudge you've been holding on to for years. We've all been there, stuck in the grind, obsessing over things that deep down we know don't really matter. The work deadlines that kept us from family dinners. The fear of judgment that stopped us from saying what we really felt. The endless scrolling through screens, searching for what exactly? You know the type of regrets I'm talking about, the ones you can feel creeping in the back of your mind late at night, but you push them aside because there's always tomorrow. But is there? Here's the strategy. Embrace your deathbed perspective. No, it's not morbid, it's liberating. It's about using the inevitability of death as a lens to focus on what's real, what's meaningful, and what's worth your energy. When you imagine yourself at the end of your life, suddenly the noise quiets. You see clearly. The argument you had last week? Probably irrelevant. The time you didn't say "I love you" because you were too busy. That stings, doesn't it? I remember the moment this perspective hit me. I was obsessing over a work project that felt like the center of the universe. Every waking thought was consumed by it. Then, one afternoon, I saw an elderly couple in the park. They were laughing, sharing a sandwich, completely absorbed in their small, beautiful moment. And it struck me, when I'm their age, will I remember this project? Number. I'll remember the laughter, the connections, the times I chose joy over worry. That was the wake-up call I didn't know I needed. This isn't about living recklessly or ignoring responsibilities. It's about recalibrating. It's about asking yourself, if this were my last week on Earth, how would I spend it? And then making choices that align with that answer. Would you still argue about who left the dishes in the sink? Would you let fear stop you from pursuing that dream? Would you postpone that trip, that apology, that hug? Probably not. This is about reclaiming your time, your focus, your life. It's about living in a way that when the end does come, you can look back and say, I really lived. It's freeing, isn't it, to think that all the things weighing you down might not matter as much as you think. So here's my challenge. Carry your deathbed perspective with you. Use it to cut through the noise, to let go of the trivial, and to thank you so much for watching. I truly hope this video gave you some valuable insights into how Stoic wisdom can guide you toward inner peace, even in the midst of life's chaos. If you found it helpful or inspiring, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps support the channel and lets me know you're enjoying this content. And hey, don't keep this to yourself. Share it with someone you know who could use a little more calm and clarity in their life. We all know someone who's battling the storms of stress and could benefit from a fresh perspective. I'd also love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your thoughts. What's your biggest takeaway from this video? Have you ever tried applying Stoic principles in your own life? Let's create a space where we can learn from and support each other on this journey. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for more content on mindset, philosophy, and practical tools for living a more peaceful, fulfilled life. Remember, achieving inner peace doesn't mean life stops throwing challenges your way. It means you've built the strength to face them with grace and resilience. You've got this, and I'm so glad we're on this journey together. Until next time, take care, stay strong, and keep striving for that unshakable peace. See you soon.